Hi, I'm doing laundry, so I thought to myself, what a better time than to make a video on how I sort all my files from my camera into Lightroom Classic. So here we go. Um, all right, it's been a long day. Bear with me. This is like the third time I've tried to make this video. I don't know what's going on with me. So I'm assuming you already know Lightroom Classic. Um, this is where I organize all my files, and it's the greatest thing that I know so far. I think uh, there's a couple other things out there that are pretty great, but this is what I know. And if it's just you or a couple of other people, it's great. But if you're at a big organization, I think like Photo Mechanic or something is a that's what they use in newspapers and stuff. Anyway, I don't want to distract you from that. This is Adobe Lightroom Classic, and it's a little different than the regular Lightroom. I like using regular Lightroom to share with people that I photograph and photograph for. But this is what I use Lightroom Classic most of the time. And I also like it because I can do a tethered capture, actually connect my camera to the computer in Lightroom and take pictures of products and things. So what we're going to do today is import from my camera. I've already plugged it in. It's turned on, and um, it's already recognized by the computer and the software. So you'll need to get to that point. Now, how my file structure is like this. I try to separate RAWs, PSDs, and other things like DNGs. But when I first get back from the field and I get excited, like and I want to import my stuff, I uh, I go to my import folder, which is I do it by the year, and then I make a bunch of folders, month by number. We're in the seventh month, and then the whatever day that the photo timestamp is, or that it will make a folder. I'll show you. Sorry, I'm stuttering today. It's been a long day, and I do have a bit of a stutter, and I hope that you'll bear with me. This is who I am. I don't stutter when I take photos or sing. I don't know. So once you're at this point, the camera's plugged up and everything. Of course, you click on import. You've probably already done all this before, and then you select your camera. It might take some time to load all your billions of pictures you took. Here are 216 photos from yesterday. And what I like to do is set my file handling over here. Over here, you select your source. These are all photography drives, work drives, and all the billions of things I have connected to a poor computer. Not a poor computer, but a poor little old computer, like my mama would say, that poor little old computer. Anyway, so I like to build smart previews. If don't import suspected duplicates, that really doesn't apply to the camera. Make sure I'm set to copy up here. I guess yeah, set to copy. I don't think you can do move. And if you want to add them to a collection you already have, you can do that. If you want to make a second copy, it's all self-explanatory. Rename files. If I shoot all the same subject, let's say I'm shooting nothing but roses, then that's when I'll rename the files now. Other than that, I'll wait until after the import. Um, I don't put develop settings in. I make sure that my metadata, which I've set up, is there applied during import. I don't apply keywords yet because it's a mixed bag of things. As you can see, we've got all kinds of stuff, plants and bugs and trees and all kinds of groovy things here. If you want to make a subfolder to import everything into, you can. Other than that, it will go to whatever folder you select and whichever drive you have. And in this case, there's the month folder, and on italics, it's saying, hey, I'm going to, and the italics name here says, hey, I'm going to make this folder with this date, and you selected 216 folders, 216 photos. Um, and you'll note that if you unselect a couple of photos, it'll change over here. So I like importing everything off my camera. So let's hurry up and click import before I tongue tie myself to death. Okay, so here we go. We're at the import screen, and you can see the progress bar up here, and it just starts loading your stuff. Now, I have a second monitor that over on one side, I can see the big picture in the loop. There's four things: loop, uh, compare, survey, slideshow, and grid. Over here's my grid. I don't have to have my metadata open there, so, but sometimes I'll let them all download like they're doing now, and I don't know, go off and have a beverage, have a drink of water, like right now. Refreshing tap water. Ah, the taste of chlorine and sulfur. But anyway, um, so while it's downloading, I don't like to make changes, but I do like to go through and see what I got. Who doesn't? And this is the good, the bad, and the ugly, you guys. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The greatest photographers out there have good, bad, and ugly. They might not show it to you like some of these guys on YouTube, but it's there. I guarantee it's there. So, uh, anyway, so I like go through, and what I do when I'm importing or after I import is I like using the arrow keys on the keyboard to go back and forth. And at first, I'll do one of two things. At first, I'll either give an X for something I absolutely know, like this blown out picture here. I handheld a flash here and was a little too close, so I had to back it off. So I press X to mark it as rejected. And so what I'm going to do, I don't make any type of development or post processing adjustments, but I do go through and things that are obvious, I make selections too, like this. So I'm still copying and importing photos, but I can show you how I go through. Now keep in mind, I'm looking at a bigger picture. So I can go through and tell you what I want and don't want. So I don't want that, don't want that, nope, 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 nope. That's a cicada husk. That's some moss. I know I don't want that. Nope, nope. Waiting for the preview. The previews hadn't been built yet, but I can tell if I don't want something. This is a fly, and of course you can see the diffuser on my strobe, my flash, what do they call them nowadays? We used to call them flash in the old days, but nowadays they call them, like, I don't know, speed light. Yeah, speed light. I think either Canon or Nikon coined that term. I'm not sure. But I like, in German they call it a blitz. So as you can see, that would all be cropped out either with generative fill or whatever. So anyway, you just basically go through them all and you just select what you want to keep, what you don't want to keep, and everything like that. This is a picture of a spider's butt. So just for the sake of showing how to do it, like, I definitely don't want that. Don't know what happened there. And then let's say you come across one right out of the box that you want to keep, like this cicada husk here. Then I use the keypad to mark it as a 5-star rating. And if you want to or not, you can, like, give it a color. I do what's called 5/8. 5/8 is 5 stars with a green color label. And then let's say we're making our way through here to these wonderful daylilies that are really cool. And like I said, I don't like to do any post-processing while it's still downloading from the camera. And I'm using a USB 3 cable, USB 3 to download. Or it might be in a USB 2 slot. So I don't know. It's downloading. It's doing what I want it to do. Like, here's a really good, I like this picture. This is one of the keepers here of this daylily that I took. So let's come back down here and click back on grid. All right. So, fun fact, you can press the home button on a PC and it'll go all the way back to the top. If you press end, it'll go all the way to the bottom. And you can see where it's still loading stuff. Now, for the sake of time, let's say once it's all been loaded, that's when it's going to finish here in just a second. That's when I come in and I add my keywords and my naming convention. If you don't know what a naming convention is in the industry, publishing industry and other things, a naming convention is how you name something. So my naming convention here usually is simply just what it is, and then the number, the original file number. That I have the camera do a certain number on creation, and then I change that number after I get it in to Lightroom. So we're almost done here. Click on the bar, copy and import, almost done. So let's go down to the daylilies and use them as an example. Okay, so I know all of these are daylilies, so I'm going to click this one, and we're going to do them all at the same time. And I do all of them, whether I want them or not. I go through and I isolate, is what I call it. I isolate all the subjects. And so all of these are going to be daylilies. And so I'm going to isolate them first with my keywords. So the keywords I use is flora, meaning it's a plant. And the next keyword is going to be what it is, a yellow daylily. Oh. A yellow daylily. And then I'm going to hit enter, and it'll put these little like shopping tag things down the corner to show that the photo does have keywords assigned over here. And then the next thing I want to do, we finished downloading and it's still building smart previews. The next thing I want to do is turn my camera off because I'm paranoid about losing battery on my cameras. Flashes, not so much. Strobes, not so much. The other cameras, yep. So anyway, so now let's say I really like all these and I want to name them. So I scroll down, okay, all the way down here to metadata. Thank you for building my smart previews. All right, it's done. Now, so with all of those selected, the daylilies, I'm going to come in where it says file name or it says mixed. And I'm going to click on it, and I've selected custom name and original file number. I want to keep that original file number, which is assigned a time of creation. And then I'm going to type whatever I want to name it. Daylily. Now, a lot of people have different types of naming conventions. A lot of people like using dates. A lot of people like using codes, different codes for different things. Me, I'm more of a noun date person. Person, place, thing, date, time is when I do things. Numbers first. So once I got that in there, it'll give you an example of what it will look like. Click OK. And now I've named all of my selections what I want to name them, daylilies, right here. So in the metadata, where it says metadata has been changed, whenever, you don't really have to do this, I don't think, but whenever I change anything like that, I like to go in and make sure I save it. Okay, you can come in and add titles, captions, ratings, all the stuff you want. you know, and then it shows all your metadata. Like this was 3/20th at f10. You know, the flash didn't fire. This would say mixed, but I use the same settings for all these. My camera, make and model and serial number, and my software version and everything. And then you can come in and add your own stuff. A lot of this stuff is like for IPTC is for like publishing, you know, the headline you want to use, cut lines, writers and stuff. You'll probably never ever use it. This is if I call this handoff information. Handoff information is where you, the photographer, types in all the information about the photograph and then hand it off to somebody else and forget about it. And unless they need some more information, they'll like email you, call you, or chat you, or whatever. All right. So that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. And then I would go through and just sort out what I don't want. And then when I'm done, I will go to photo, delete my rejected photos, delete from disk, because I don't want them resyncing with Lightroom or anything like that. And you have a time period for oops. If you're like, wait a minute, you know, you can always go to your trash bin or trash can and see what you threw away. It doesn't delete it permanently, unless it's a lot of stuff. If you have like a lot of stuff or heavy videos and things, sometimes it might say, hey, this is too much to handle and will be deleted permanently. Are you sure? Yeah, you don't want to do that. Or you'll have to go get undelete programs and things like that. So here we go. I'll leave you with this wonderful picture of a daylily with this fly following me around everywhere. All right, man. So that's how I do. That's how I do my sorting and everything like that. And then once I get it all sorted out, I come in and I do all my Lightroom development, post adjustments, lighten, darken this. If I use Photoshop, I will save the Photoshop file to the Photoshop folder by year and date. And that's it. So, all right, have a good one. Thanks for watching my cheesy video. The neighbor's in his car flying down the road. You probably heard that. I'm doing laundry. The dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. All right, man, have a great day. And just go out and enjoy yourself. We're all great photographers. It don't matter, man. The fun is in the creation. Peace and love, man. This is MA signing out. Bye-bye.